Come on. All right. So we live. Welcome to Fellas Not Included.
Yeah,
Like I said, bro, we just gonna start shooting the shit, keep it all the way real.
yeah. I want to know
This
what you got in your bag. I know you
it's
got
gonna
some.
sound fucked up, but I'm
All
gonna
right,
say it.
all right.
I think for the first time in my life, I'm actually glad I was dating a white chick and not a black woman.
Oh shit.
Now, let me explain to you why I'm saying that.
Oh shit.
Let me explain, bro.
All right.
There's something going on right now where brothers seem to be mad as hell at black women, right? And I don't understand what it is. All I can figure out is just something in the dating because I look at what's the white chick name that played basketball, Caitlin something,
Caitlin
right?
Clark.
Man, the memes going out from brothers is like, man, she beat the weave and the eyelashes,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and I'm
yeah. I
looking, I'm
see.
like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
so I start paying more attention, and I'm like, bro, every opportunity, and I know it's the loudest ones on social media, but every
Hmm.
opportunity that a lot of these single brothers is getting, they bashing black women. And again, I'm married to a white chick, but I always, for a long time, I've been fighting a good fight, even though I catch hell.
Hmm.
Right, I fight the good fight anyway, knowing there's gonna be some chicks tell me I can't speak on it because my wife is white. But I'm like,
Right,
I'm trying to speak on your behalf, but
right,
nonetheless,
right, right.
I'm looking at this shit, bro, and I'm like, I'm missing something. Right, I don't understand what it is, and all I can come up with is because I'm not in that mix. But I'm looking at, like I said, with the Caitlyn shit, bro. I'm looking at the way brothers is posting shit. Uh, Man, I seen one meme. It was all these are posted by black dudes, bro. And I'm
Okay.
gonna be honest and say single brothers, not married brothers, not brothers in relationships, single brothers. And they
Yeah.
like the one was some horrible shit. It was something like she treated them like slaves. This that. Yeah, I'm like, man, how can that shit come out your mouth? So I'm under the impression there's a issue, right?
Hmm.
For you know what I'm saying, for us with when it comes to black women, right? It's that's my guy. I recognize his name and his and the number there. So, but there's an issue, bro, and I don't know what it is. And the only thing I can come up with is that I'm not in that situation, right? I see a lot of brothers that only date black women that are talking mad shit, and
Okay.
I'm
Is
missing
is
I'm
is
missing the
that why
big.
you saying? Is that why you saying you glad you married
I'm
to a
glad.
white one?
That's why I'm
Because you
glad
ain't
I
gotta see
never
it.
dated. I shouldn't say never. When I say I'm glad I did it, I don't want to have that same hatred that I'm seeing these motherfuckers have today. And the only difference I can come up with, because I live around them, I work around them, I'm related to black women. I don't have that anger and hatred in me that I see motherfuckers experiencing. So I'm confused, right, on what's
Yeah.
behind it. I'm not in the dating market. That's what motherfuckers keep telling me over and over. Oh,
Right.
you ain't in the market. You don't know how bad it is. I don't know, bro. I don't got bad luck with women either. So if I have bad luck with one or two or three or whatever, I'm gonna look at something. I'm choosing wrong. That's how I'm gonna look at it.
Yeah. I definitely. I mean, I see what you're seeing to a certain extent. I look at the shit as it's like a program, right? Is especially when it's social media, I think it's all a program. Um, People being told what to think and how to feel, and also a lot of these cats just take it as an opportunity to express their trauma in a non accountable way. You know what I mean? Like it's really deeper than that. It really comes back to their experiences with the women that they've been dealing with, and then they just try to really attack black women as a collective, so it doesn't sound personal. Because if they make it sound personal, then it's gonna come back to them, and that's where the lack of accountability comes in. So
No
I
doubt.
think that has a lot to do with it. But I think society is just in America. It always seizes the opportunity to exploit the aesthetic. When it's a so-called black girl and a so-called white girl, it's always that's where you're gonna see the division ignite. You know what I mean? So,
No doubt. I
I,
just like I said, bro. It's just been crazy to me because I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it, man. You know what I'm saying?
where's the correlation though? Why you so
The correlation is the only
expound more on your you being thankful that you.
because the only difference is I'm not dating these chicks. Right? That's the only difference. I mean, I'm around the same dudes, right? I'm with the same in the same areas. So
Right. So
it
are you saying that you think that you could possibly feel that way if you
n-
were dating?
no, but I'm not these dudes. But what I'm saying is, from my perspective, that's all I can come up with, right? Like maybe
Yeah,
if I
I
had a
think it.
bunch of negative ass experiences, I mean, I'm human, right?
Yeah, no, I can
Right?
appreciate you acknowledging like the difference in your lifestyle versus that of the perceived collective. But I'm just saying that it's the type of it's the caliber of men that we talking about. You know what I mean? Like really
No
think about
doubt.
the caliber of men who's going to express themselves in this way on a social media platform versus, really getting to the root of why they feel the way they feel in a more therapeutic and a more healthier way. So I think that's where we got to start.
So obviously I've been with a white chick for decades, three of them,
Hmm.
and a little couple change, right? I've had cats that came to me respectfully, even though I'm gonna say respectfully, which I'm gonna say respectfully because I got love for him. Like, man, I don't know how you do. I can never date a white chick. I'm like, cool, right? Like, I'll probably never date the chick you with. That's okay. I respect that. We all have our differences. But those same brothers today, I
Hmm.
had one today on the phone. He's like, man, if this relationship don't work out, bro, I'm never fucking with another sister again. I'm like, bro, you actually got a good woman. If this don't work out, you fucked it up.
Yeah, that's what your guy's saying. Like if it keep going bad, then it might just be you. I agree with him on that.
A
You
hundred
know what I
percent.
mean? You
Because
got to look at yourself at a certain point now.
and that's what I say to one of my guys. I'm like, bro, you are the common denominator in all your successes, but you are also the common denominator in all your motherfucking failure, right? If you
Yeah,
keep picking these chicks, right, then maybe it's you, right? And
it
that
has
that
to be. It has to be on
that that
some
goes
level.
into one of the other topics I wanted to touch is, are men shooting too high, bro? Like, because a lot of these dudes is really, and this is how I explain. I'm like, you mad at a chick that you say you don't want, right? She got multiple baby daddies, or she got kids, or she got, but that's the chick you mad at for not waiting to find a good dude, right? As you say, you mad because she let like you say, a Pookie or a Ray Ray. I hate that fucking term,
Yeah,
right? But a
yeah, yeah,
Pookie or Ray Ray get access to her womb, and now she want a good man. But I'm like, if you don't want her, what difference do it make what she did,
yeah.
right? And
I
I'm not
agree.
out here trying to be Captain Save at all, because my stance has always been the same, bro. I'm not dating a chick with kids, but I'm not also going to create a chick out there with my kids that I'm not with,
Yeah.
right? So my perspective is, I mean, I ain't doing it, but I ain't creating it either.
So
But
what's
it's,
your what's the question again? Reset the question.
are men out here shooting too high? Let's just keep it real. Like the average dude, are they shooting too high? Right? And what I mean by that are they mad because they're getting turned down? Because again, I don't know if it's they getting turned down by these
Hmm.
chicks,
Hmm.
or if they dating the chicks and it's going south. I think it's a little bit of both, because they like, hey man, the chicks don't want a good dude until they got 3, 4 baby daddies, this, that, and the other. And you know, I don't know, bro. I'm just trying to figure it out because I look
No,
at the shit. I'm
I
like,
think I think it's multiple layers to it. So I would say my answer to the question initially is like I don't think dudes are shooting too high. I actually think they shooting low, right? Because these are the women that they complaining about, the ones that are of a certain caliber, right? So you obviously have to be aiming low if that's who you keep on coming in contact with and having experiences with. But I will say some of them are a little bit impractical. When they look at with the type of woman that they claim they want or they deserve, or that they're complaining that they don't have access to, versus the work that you want to put in to qualify for that caliber of woman. You know what I mean? You have to be a certain caliber of man as well, and I think a lot of them are a little bit impractical in terms of what they're going to attract and be able to sustain.
okay, and that's I'm with you on that one, right? Because I had these conversations with dudes all the time. Like, man, I need a woman with a low body count, no kids, this and the other. I'm just like, bro, you want a 35-year-old chick who's been with 3 dudes, never been married, never had kids. Why in the fuck, if she exists, is she fucking with you? Right? Let's just keep it
Right?
all the way real,
Yeah.
because
That's yeah.
you and
That has to
everybody
be
else want that,
right.
right? You know what I'm saying? But I think and I want to talk about the unrealistic expectations of a lot of women, but I think men as well have unrealistic expectations. This is
Well,
2024, bro.
yeah.
If you with a chick that you just got with this year or last year, body count probably crazy. It's probably 30, 40 cats with the flicks. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it
Yeah.
real. It's
Yeah.
at least 5 or 6 brothers on the Facebook friend list that didn't
Yeah.
research the guts. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
So
saying?
look, I think that even the woman that you described, that even though it's like, man, that how practical is that? Even then when they do exist, then they too become impractical. They feel like that they, deserve a certain caliber of man that, I mean, it's like not realizing that when certain men get to a certain level in life, then the concept of a monogamous relationship becomes, less attractive. You know what I mean?
Right. He doesn't
So
need it. He doesn't require it.
yeah.
So you touched on something, and that was kind of funny. I saw a chick today, my age, went to school with her, like 7th, 8th grade, something like that. She she always talk about how dudes be liking her and all this other shit, which I think is false, because I'm gonna keep it real. I'm just leave it at that. But
He said he
she
think it's
it's an
false.
app out there, bro, that lets you that lets you put in your ideal person, right? And then it tells you the percentage of people that actually fit that in the United States or whatever country you in. And she posted this
Really?
shit, and it was like 4%, right? And so I commented, I told her, I said, man, it's a wrap. You either gotta date young dudes who can't get into the club yet, grown men, right? 18, 19, 20, or it's a wrap. Because the dudes our age are either married, locked down, or looking for girls, women, let me clarify, women who ain't
Yeah.
old enough to get in the club yet. These motherfuckers
Yeah.
trying to date these young chicks.
Yeah.
Nobody, this is gonna sound fucked up, but it's the reality. Because I'm gonna give it to you from a man's point of view. Very few men are out here checking for 40-plus-year-old women, no matter how old they are, right? If you're looking for a family, to create one is damn near impossible with a 40-year-old woman. From a health perspective, it's just not a good move, right?
It's just not how we think anyway.
It's not
You
how
know what I
men
mean?
think,
Like
right?
we'll deal with you, but that's about like you'll be at bay. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the type of man that you would keep, be one that you have to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I said
Like
you got to get you a young motherfucker or somebody with nothing going,
yeah, like
right?
and which is kind of
Oh man,
productive
let me
to
hold on because that brought me something. I'm gonna try to not to be too descriptive because I got love for her and I don't know if she watch it or gonna see it.
man. Yeah, she gonna see
But
it.
I have a homie, very beautiful sister, bro. I'm talking. I'm not gonna bullshit. She's gorgeous. Uh, my wife says the same shit. She's like, man, she's super pretty. She got a dude that's unemployed. A fucking got a car. Yeah, I mean, I'm just like, God damn, right? You kid free. She's no kids, and this is what you laying up with.
Yeah, but you know why?
She probably can control that motherfucker. And that's a
Exactly. That's
necessity
it. That's exact.
because
That's what it
that's
is.
that's all I could
That's
come
what
up
it
with.
is. Because here's the thing: when we like you said, people take it the wrong way, but it's not. It's not personal when we talk about like an older woman, right? Is like even older women who are beautiful. They don't even realize that at a certain point in our lives, we don't. The aesthetics of you don't are irrelevant.
Right, right,
Like we look at how you gonna respond, how you gonna deal with us, how you gonna treat us like that. And so if you think that if you go into the relationship already feeling like you are owed something, then that's not attractive to us. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like it don't matter how cute you are,
right, right.
because
Eh,
it's always it's a cute woman every time you turn around, right?
no doubt.
But any sensible, mature man already knows that all this shit is temporary. Their aesthetics are temporary.
Right.
We all gonna lose that. You know what I mean? We're closer
Mhm.
to that than we like to think. You know what I mean?
No doubt, no doubt.
So
And plus, post nut clarity is beautiful, right? Like no
yeah,
matter
that's when you gonna see after you get knocked down, he gonna say like, okay, what else is there? You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
even if it's the best shit you ever had,
Doesn't matter.
it just
Doesn't
becomes
matter.
regular. That's what you used to,
Yeah,
right? It's
because
like
it's only competitive nature when it comes to it's like achieving that, like getting access to it. Once we gain access to it, then the competitive nature of the chase, that's gone. So now what's next? That's the
right,
question.
and I think that's that category of men. There's a couple categories. First, you got your dudes who's going to be all the way right, man. Got to respect that. But you have the guys who are out for the hunt, right? It's not even about the draws. You just gotta you gotta hit the draws because you gotta take the trophy to prove you won the game. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men, it's the hunt, right? And I think women misunderstand that. A lot of women are like, oh, a lot of dudes are chasing me. Nobody's trying to keep you, though, right? And I think that's the difference that a lot of women don't understand. You can be beautiful, and they can look at their ugly friend like, man, this chick got a husband or she got a dude taking care of her. What the fuck is wrong with me? And it's like all you bring to the table is beauty, and that's cool. It's fun. It's nice, but that shit don't spend nowhere, right? Beauty
The,
don't
the
cook meals,
equivalent the equivalent is like how men think that if if they got money, they
right?
got
Right?
money and status, you gonna keep a woman, and it's like, bro, when it come down to it, nah, it's your character is what when it come down to it.
100%,
Like I know a lot of clowns with money.
man,
You know what
bro.
I'm saying?
Uh,
So
Yeah,
we just don't be having the right conversations. We too busy having a conversation about the men versus women, the narrative that we being fed, and we're not talking about real compatibility. You know what I'm saying? The real reasons and the real foundations on which relationships should be built, because compatibility is really what it's going to come down to. You know what I mean? And
100%.
so I think we just not having the right conversations right now, because we are everybody in it for shock value, and everybody's speaking from a place of trauma, and it becomes a me versus you thing when it's really about personal accountability.
no doubt. So 2 points real quick, and I gotta give you credit because I know what the one time we was talking, you was like, even if you ain't, y'all ain't together, y'all need to live together for the kids, right? It took me a minute to grasp that concept, but I was talking to one of my homies today, white dude, right? Mia went through some shit with his baby mom, right?
Mhm.
They got 2 kids, or whatever. But we was kicking it earlier today, and I was like, man, how's everything going? He's like, man, we still not together. We live in separate homes. He said, but we're trying to get a house together. I said, oh, y'all
Mhm.
got back together? He's like, nah, bro. But for our kids, we want to be in the same house.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, bro, you know what I'm saying? You was on point with that because it is happening a lot more in other communities. We
Yeah.
ain't fucking with it.
Yeah.
I was
But
talking to one of
we
my
can't live together either. We can't even live. We just can't live together. We can't coexist for whatever reason, for different
I think
reasons.
the man versus woman shit is crazy. So
The
I was having a
dumbest shit ever.
conversation with stupid. Right? I was having a conversation with one of my guys, and I don't know how we got there. He was like, "Man, it's more beneficial for a woman." Oh, I know what it was. He sent me a Kevin Samuels video where it was totally different than what we normally see when we see Kevin Samuels. Right? It was Kevin Samuels was saying, it was an older black chick. He was like, "Listen, stop trying to ruin your relationship. Ain't shit out here for us. You know what I'm saying? Go work on your shit." He said, "Unless it's abuse, violence, gambling, or
Yeah.
his exact words were rampant infidelity, go work it out."
Hmm.
Right? And my guy was like, "Well, man, why don't anybody share this?" And I said, "Because no," I said, "because we're not gonna live by it." He said, "What you mean?" I said, "Bro," I said, "hypothetical, not your current woman. But if you married and your girl cheat one time, or you stand, I'm ghost." I said, "Well, see, what he said was, if it ain't rampant," I said, "so we don't live by that."
Right.
Right? And he was like, "Well, man, it's more beneficial for a woman to try to work on the marriage, this and this, than it is for a man." I said, "No, it's more beneficial for parents because the children are the one who lose, not
Why did
the."
he say? Why did he think that? Did you ask him?
Because he's a man, bro. And in today's world, a lot of men
You
look
think
at
it's just
things.
because he was a
I,
man?
I
He thought
think
like
he
that.
believe. I think a lot of men was like today. What I'm noticing with single dudes today is we don't want accountability. We don't want responsibility. So we put it on the woman, and women do the same thing. They put it on the man. And I
Right.
try to
Lot
explain
of
to him. I'm like,
deflection. Yeah.
right. I'm like, bro, it's not whether it benefits you or it benefits the woman. The loser is the child every single time.
Yeah, but you know what? People just can't see how it's gonna benefit them. Like the most important investment you'll ever make is your child, and your family and your children, right?
No doubt.
And at a certain point, you're gonna need somebody who has the youth and the energy and the reason, the motivation to assist you when you're gonna need it at a certain point in your life. And who better to do that than your children, the people that you made the most sacrifice for? So
Absolutely.
that is gonna benefit you. It's gonna benefit, and it's gonna benefit your legacy. It's like I always, and I just came across this. I just came to this revelation maybe about 8 months ago, to where I believe that part of the rite of passage is, in the manhood is, did you love a woman and did you raise a child? That's just my belief at this point.
I'm with you 100%.
So that to me is a part of the rite of passage into manhood. And so I don't understand. I understand how we got to this place, but
Oh, I just
them
dropped you. Oh,
can
you
you
back?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
You dropped for a hot second.
I can't fathom what we think our future is gonna look like if we continue down this path collectively of being at odds with each other and not really valuing the concept of family, the construct and the concept of family for real.
I struggle with two parts of that, right? Obviously, I know there's outside influences, but I also feel like we all know right from wrong. We all know the right shit. And I had kids early as fuck. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend I didn't,
Right.
right? Like I'm talking, I went from homework to Pampers, right? Skip
Yeah.
college and
Yeah.
shit. That wasn't an option.
Right.
Um,
For sure.
but I understood at a young age that once I made this woman a mother, this family is my most important shit. My life ended at 18 years old, bro. I'm gonna keep it real, right? Because
No, we're
that's when
100.
my first kid was born.
100.
Um, Now our kids are out, or I'm gonna use the term he's using today. My kids are grown. We outside, like me and the wife everywhere,
For sure. For
right?
sure.
We outside with it. But I had to put all that shit on the back burner, um, because nobody asked to be here, right? And myself included. I didn't ask to be here. God damn it, I was a product of my parents.
Yeah.
Um, no different than my kids are a product of theirs.
So
Uh,
your life didn't really end. Your life just took the
wh-
trajectory changed.
what I mean is, it was no longer my life,
Yeah,
right?
at that point, right?
At
Okay,
that point, now
I
I'm
get it.
focused, and I didn't do everything right. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I did everything right. I was 18 years old trying to be a fucking father. I had no fucking idea, bro.
Yeah, for sure,
Um,
man. Absolutely, you and I both. So
you know what I'm saying? So, but for me, that was I shifted my responsibility. My fun took a back seat. Most of my fun, I still did some shit, but I mean, I had a kid, bro. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
But I don't think people today realize that when you have a child, you've said I no longer want to do the fun shit that I want to do as a single individual person, right? That's you got to put that shit on hold. And I think today we are too selfish. Uh,
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I cannot grasp the concept of having a child and not associating with that kid at all. And I know we had some discussions where there's some things where it's out of your control. So
Yeah,
excluding that part,
yeah,
right? I can't fathom the idea of having a seed running around that I know nothing about,
right,
right? But
right.
but I mean, it happens every day. I
Yeah,
got relatives and friends and goddamn it associates that have kids, and they're just like, I ain't seen my kid in however long. I like that. That for me, I don't get it, bro. And I got homies who cannot or don't. I won't say cannot because I might be wrong. I got homies who do not have kids that have done more as a step parent, right, to a child than cats who actually created a kid, and that shit is crazy to me. Like I struggle with that, one, right? Like I don't it don't register for me. Um, I like that one is fucking insanity for me. Now I'm not gonna sit here and pretend all these baby mamas is good, right? Because it's
they're
some
not.
it's some it's some trash
They're
out
not,
here,
man.
right? It's some if you don't. I seen
Trash
a chick post
can.
something said, uh, "How you disrespect the mom, and expect access to the kid? Like that's not how that shit's supposed to work."
Man, that's
I could,
not.
reality say I should be able to cut your ass out and still pick up my kids.
But you know how many people get behind that idea?
Sh- Man, a lot more ovary owners than testicle owners. I can tell you
Man,
that shit.
facts.
I don't know. We. I don't know, bro. The world is just it's weird as shit because I grew up in this shit, right? I've lived it, I've adjusted, I've adapted to it, but the shit don't make sense. I catch hell for being real. Hold on, let me switch subjects a little bit. That's the little she do the Shakira, I think is her name. She dropped a statement and said men and women have have specific roles that they hold in. And I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly what it said, but she said something along the lines of men and women have there's basically gender roles
Yeah.
and men and women are designed to be together, and that shouldn't be changed. And people lost their shit, right? Because people felt that she was anti this, anti that. And I seen where I saw it, I seen a comment from a gay chick. She was like, "Listen, women and men are supposed to be together." She said, "I wish I was straight so I could be with a man." And I'm like, "Damn, right?"
She
But
said
there
she
are.
wish what?
She wished she was straight, right? But she's like, it's not in her, right?
What?
Like again, apparently she's 100%. She can't be, right? It's just not in her, and that's
I
okay,
just
right?
never heard that statement of I wish
Right,
I
because
would.
that's what it fucked me up, bro. I think I screenshotted that shit. I'm gonna have to look for it because I was like, damn, that was. Let me see. Let me look at my shit, bro. I'm
That's
gonna take a
weird.
quick look because
That's
I was
weird
like,
to
damn,
me.
that's kind of ccrazy.
That's more
Um,
than crazy.
that's kind of crazy to hear that. I don't know if I screenshot it. If not, I'm gonna find that bitch though. I don't know. Let me see. Nah, I didn't screenshot that one. I'm kind of shitty, but I'm gonna find it because I liked it or loved it or something, so I can go back and get it. Um, but anyway, people was tripping out on that shit, and I'm like, man, I'm a firm believer of gender roles. But
Me
what
too.
that means is you got to find somebody who is also a believer. You can't just go pick a motherfucker who don't believe it and then get mad because this shit don't work the way you want it to, right? But when I say I believe that, like my situation is what it is. When I got with my woman and we got serious and we started talking family, we had discussion. Now, gender roles don't mean shit can't be flipped if some shit come up, right? Because there's times where she made way more money than me.
Yeah, they don't have to be so rigid, is what you're saying.
It's not etched in stone, right?
Right.
What I mean by gender roles is, hey, this is what I'm primarily responsible for, and this is what you're primarily responsible for. But we both should be able, to a certain extent, cover for the other, right? Because hard times is coming, whether you want it to or not. Whether it's illness, whether it's financial struggles, whatever it is, right? So, um, But I don't know, man. I saw that and people was tripping on that because I think we've gotten to this point where we feel like men and women are equal, and I think we are equal in the aspect of you should be able to earn the same for doing the same job. But men and women are not equal in the aspect of I never will look at my girl and expect her to jump on me to stop a bullet from coming my way.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't think we're equal by no means. I think that's by design. It's on purpose. I don't think
100%.
we're equal that. Like I think that we equate equality to fairness, and that's just not how life is designed. You know what
Life
I
is not
mean?
fair.
Like it's not designed to be that. Like the you can make your life fair if you get with the right person. And but I think part of that is understanding that we're not equal. Like that's the beautiful part about it. Like we are very different. We are uniquely different. We are uniquely valuable in different ways to what we can build, what's possible through our union. You know what I mean? Because if we were equal, then we would be able to procreate a different way. I'll just say
Right.
that.
Anybody
You know what
being a
I'm saying?
carry. You know what I'm
Like, nah,
saying?
we're
Right.
not equal, and that's on purpose, right? Like our
It's by
strength
design.
is just different, and I think that it actually adds a level of beauty and value to the concept of humanity, right? If you could imagine if we were all the same gender or sex, right? Like where's the appreciation that we would have for each other? You know what I mean?
I,
It's hard. It's like women appreciate the value of men because they recognize how different we are. You know what I mean? The value that we bring because we are different, and vice versa. Like I recognize the value of women because of their unique design.
no,
So,
no doubt.
it just this whole shit is weird to me now. Like,
It,
because
it is, bro.
that was understood, right? It was like what was understood was always never needed to be explained, and I never seen it getting to this point. You know what I mean? Like it's just a weird timing to be alive right now. I tell you
It
that.
is, bro. It's different. I'm weird because like we have mutual friends, right? I have female friends that are associates of my girl. I don't have female friends that are my female friend. I'm never going to lunch with a girl, a female, short of being business. That makes no sense to me, right?
Mhm.
I go with my homies, right? Because we're gonna have the conversation we have. We're gonna chill. I don't see,
Right.
and I know somebody might consider that sexist or whatever, but I don't see myself sitting down and having a and kicking it with a chick like that because by nature I'm going to be in protection mode, right? I'm going
But
to
what
be.
is sexist anyway? What is that? What
I
is
mean,
it?
people. I don't honestly. I mean, I know the definition, but in
But
all actuality,
we are. What's wrong with being sexist?
if it's, I think if you use it to demoralize or somebody, something like that, then that's an issue, right? The issue probably at that point ain't sexism. It's more just the demoralization
Exactly. That's my
of
point.
what's happening.
You're
So
you're
that's why I like
you're
fucking with
you're
you, bro, because you
yeah.
bring a different perspectives and shit.
Like you're an immoral person, right? Like, you know what I
Right,
mean? Like when we talk, even if we say racist, right? It's like, you know, when you break when you break it down racially, it's just all you're speaking to is like people of a similar hue collectively, like prioritizing their culture in that way, right? Which I don't think is a problem with that. I think the problem is when you use it to demoralize other groups of
right.
people. You know what I'm
Okay, I
saying?
fucks with
And
that.
and you are a moral person at that point. You can call it racism, you can call it sexism, you can call it misogynist, whatever you want to call
Right,
it. But I
right.
mean, a person that is immoral is just immoral. You know what I
No,
mean?
I'm with you. I'm with you, and that's what I say. That's one of the reasons I like fucking with you because you bring that different perspective that I'm not used to. But going back to what I said, like I can't. I don't want to chill with a chick, right? That's not my thing, right?
Yeah,
Like for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
I chill with my girl. I chill with my woman,
yeah.
right? It's going. I'm gonna be in protection mode. I'm gonna be sensual and all the other shit. I don't have the desire to do that with another chick. And I also feel like even
Mhm.
if a chick is like, oh, me and him are just friends, you still expect that man to be a man, right? If some shit jump off, you expect that man to be who he's supposed to be. And all the people I know that have friends of the opposite sex, I'm like, listen, I've taken trips with my homies. Would you gonna let your girl take a trip with a dude? Or you gonna let what I'm saying, your dude take a trip with a girl? No, ain't nobody going.
There's
Because
always conditions. So
right.
why we play this game with each other?
And that's it, man. And so I don't know. So for me, like the world looks different, bro. I'm used to when I grew
Yeah,
up, my mom had female friends. She knew some men, right? But it wasn't you know what I'm saying? It wasn't that kind of party, and vice versa on my dad, right? My
yeah.
dad
I
had male
never.
friends and they had card games and all that other shit, and was always dudes.
Yeah.
It's
Because we're not talking about when we're teenagers and we're all just friends as teenagers, right?
right.
We're as adults, like, yeah, my lady is not gonna like what is that don't even make sense.
Common sense would tell you if you spend enough time with somebody opposite sex, something's gonna go wrong. One of y'all gonna catch some feelings.
The fact that why do you want to do this is what I'm saying. Like I'm not saying you can't be cordial. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, or you I'm saying that like this is my friend. Like, because my question is going to be, what is it that this person is providing for you that I cannot? You know
Right,
what I
because you're
mean?
looking for something from the opposite sex.
Yeah,
Right?
like
Because by nature, especially from a woman's perspective, being with somebody opposite sex puts you at risk out the gate. Right? He most likely he can overpower you. Right? Most likely,
I've said that
um,
before.
so the risk outweighs the reward because you don't know what that man's real intentions are. And I tell chicks all the time, listen, I
Should I
don't care.
know?
Right, I don't care how cool you think that man. Oh, he's my friend. He would never. I said, get naked in front of him. Watch him
Right.
start getting naked too. He ain't gonna ask no question.
Yeah, that's the naivety of a lot of women, right? Not
I
all,
don't.
but a
I don't
lot
even
of
think they're
women.
naive, bro. I think they know it. It's just you get the benefits
Well,
of a
they get
man
to
without
play
the
naive though, is what I'm saying, right?
right.
And even if they were friends with this person and he crossed some lines, then guess what? They get to be victims too. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
We love victimhood, bro. I
Like,
don't know.
nah, I'm not with that. Like I believe that I don't believe that anybody has the right to cross certain boundaries as far as your body or your livelihood, right? But
100%.
I'm saying that there is accountability in the positions that you put yourself in too. You
Yes,
know what I
sir.
mean? It doesn't want two things can be true.
I mean, it's reality, bro. I know legally I can go to ATM at 2 a.m. and not have a problem. Common sense tell me not to fucking do it. Right? There's no law saying I shouldn't do it. Common sense says I shouldn't do it.
Right, right.
Right? And they're double standards, and that's okay. Like I don't get mad at dudes. We get mad.
But
Oh, it's double standard. I don't get mad
where
at
is
them.
it? But it's not. They're going. That goes back to the fact that we don't want to acknowledge that we are different. There are double
Right?
standards across the
And
board.
it's supposed to be.
Yeah, just like men can do certain things that women can't do because of double standards, quote unquote. It's the same way. Like we don't. A woman, like you said, going out at hanging out late at night by herself or with her female friends is very different from a man doing it based
Right?
on our ability to protect ourselves, right? But we also don't judge women the same way when they if they put they man's clothes on. You know what I mean? As if
Right?
as we
Right? It's
would if a
sexy when
man
your girl
does
wear
it.
your
You
t-shirt
see
and
what I'm
shit.
saying? Like
Man, bro,
it's
you hit with that one
like
because
what is people just playing crazy. I don't get it. Like why do we
hey,
play
I can't
crazy?
wait to use that shit somewhere because you're right. If my girl, like, I ain't go low key, I love it when she got my shit on, right? You know what I'm
Man.
saying? Like, she wear my little t-shirt to bed or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She wear my tank top. I love it. You ain't gonna catch me in her shit. Why I look like wearing her nightgown or
I
whatever the
mean,
fuck you want to
it's
call
going
it?
to be judged differently, right? Like I'm saying
100%.
that's just what it is. You know what's crazy? We still do it like when we talk about women, male and female disputes, right? Like a woman, I seen something today where a woman literally threw a drink in a man's face and he knocked her out, right? And almost every woman and most men, a lot of men said that, hey, she was wrong, but he shouldn't have hit her
Right.
that hard, right? But if the roles were reversed, he would have deserved everything that she did because you know what I mean. That's just
That's
we
reality,
judge
bro.
things differently. We just judge things differently. It just is
And
what
that's
it is.
okay.
It's
But
okay with me.
but
It
I,
is.
I think we have, and this is where all my homies get mad at me. I think we as men have gotten so fucking weak that we want to be equal to women, right?
Man, for real,
Like
that's
I
whack.
see dudes,
That's
and,
whack
and
to
you put
me.
me on to that, bro. I see dudes on the internet post some shit, or somebody like, well, what about when women do it? Like, cut that what about shit out. Like, that's not who we are, right?
No,
And I go
they
rounds with
women.
people.
Let women do women shit.
Let women do women shit, right?
Like yeah, I mean, just be
Um,
just still. I'm a man no matter what situation I'm in. I'm always be a man.
bro, I was watching Corey Holcomb crazy ass, and he was talking about, uh,
And that nigga funny,
man, he cracks me the fuck up. He was like, man, I sent this,
but he be saying some real
but
shit
he
though.
do, right? He was like, I sent this bitch some DMs, and her dude, you know what I'm saying, was reading her shit and started tripping and hit me up and blah blah. He said, I expect women to post screenshots of DMs and shit like that. That's expected.
Mhm.
But dude, you can't be posting DMs. Man, matter of fact, I'm gonna tell a real life story, goddamn it. Because I used to have this Facebook group
What?
and we used to talk, we used to rock on each other. Like the whole point of the motherfucking group was just to be fun and cool,
What was it
right?
called?
Extreme pettiness, right? Like
Okay, okay.
so the name was what it was.
Right, right.
And I'm going in on this dude, right? We going back and forth. And bro, jokes is my shit. So I'm killing it. So then the bro hit me. He's like, well, you supposed to be a man, a married man, and you cheating on your girl with this chick, right? And I said, well, first off, hold on, right? Because I'm not. I appreciate you trying to do that, right? She's a friend of ours. She hang out with us. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no weird shit. I said, but bro, you a street nigga. You telling on Facebook what you think I'm doing on my girl? Imagine if you get caught
Oh,
with
he
some
said this
work.
publicly?
It
Like, he
was it
said
was in
that?
the group. I said, bro, I
That's
said, listen.
crazy.
I said, do you see what you doing? I said, I hope all your homies looking at this realize if you get caught, you ain't going to
Yeah,
jail. They are. Oh
cornball.
no, that's different. I said, nah, bro, like you can't. I said, listen,
Yeah.
I understand you was trying to get personal. You were wrong, but you were trying to get personal. I said, but you just did the most bitch shit I ever seen a street motherfucker do. Right? You sell. I said you hustle. I ain't gonna go into details of what you hustle, but we all know, right? Like you hustle and you snitching because your feelings is hurt. Right? I said, bro, ain't nobody put no cuffs on you. Ain't no shiny lights. I said, man, that is the most bitch shit in the world. And even the chick commented, she was like, nah, you like me and I be hanging out with them, and that's your problem. I'm like, so it's not even that you think I'm
Oh.
right, bro. But that's not even,
Hey, but
man.
that's the topic right there. That's what we need to unpack one of these days because it's an ongoing conversation. Like you, because you already hinted on it. Like the lack of emotional intelligence amongst men or males. I say males because I don't even consider you a man if you
Right,
can't control your emotions, right? Like it's literally males out here that feel like if you say the wrong thing, that gives me the right to assault you or we gotta fight. You know
man,
what I mean? Like,
bro.
what part of the game is that?
I'm,
Like,
I'm
what
trying to
part of the
I'm trying to figure out how to best word this shit without making it sound
Nah,
horrible.
you need to say it how because it needs
But
to be
I
heard the way it needs to be heard.
I had it was a friend of ours, of ours that this was way back in the day. She used to get down for money, right? And she was like, listen, can you look out for me in the aspect of, you know what I'm saying? I don't know who's who, right? And I'm trying to avoid too much detail,
Mhm.
but wifey would handle certain parts of it, and I would collect whatever, right? So
Yeah.
one day I'm in a barbershop with her because we got to move. This is how long ago it was I had hair. Um, I'm in a barbershop with her. No weird. She's not my girl, but she's with me, right? Bunch of dudes in the barbershop. CJ's barbershop, man. I go hit the restroom. I come back, everybody laughing, right? I'm like, what's going on? And this young sister was nice. Um, Everybody cracking up, right? And so I'm looking around like I missed the joke. Well, when I got up to go to the bathroom, dude tried to holler at her. She's like, if you want to fuck with me, you got to talk to him, which embarrassed the shit out of dude, right? Since that day, we've never been cool, right? Bro had beef with me since that day. And I'm like, your whole situation is you was mad because you was trying to get out of chick. And it wasn't like she was my girl, not at all, bro. But the situation was a business situation, right? And I'm like, this was and this motherfucker was probably 5, 6 years older than me. Back then, I was in my mid-20s, right? But again, I'm keeping it real. I wasn't the best motherfucker when I was young.
Mhm.
And a lot of shit I'm not proud of.
Mhm.
Um, but it's always been a small set of dudes, but now it's a big ass set that I don't know what happened. All I will say this, and I'll probably catch some heat for it. Everyone that I know personally that acts like that didn't have their daddy in their life, right? Um, Raised by their mom. Not saying moms did a bad job, just saying a woman cannot raise a man to be a man. There are going to be some
Yeah,
exceptions where
but
he
I
turns
think
out
you
okay.
I think you letting them off easy by saying that. 'Cause I
By
didn't
saying
have
what?
I didn't have no dad,
Mm. But you
you
had
know?
okay, but you had older real male role models, right? Whether it be uncles, cousins, older cats in the hood that like even growing up. I mean, again, my mom and dad had got divorced when I was younger, but I had older men, older black men who made sure that I understood the game, that made sure I understood rules of the world and reality, right? A lot
I
of it
didn't.
was
I had one cousin that used to try to put us as younger cousins on game, but he got murdered at 27 years old. You know what I mean?
okay,
So
okay.
when we was kids, I was 17 when he was trying to, I mean, not, no, don't get me wrong, I held on to everything
Right, so you
he,
got that.
you
It
know what I'm
obviously
saying?
was
But I
cut short.
mean, yeah, but I'm saying like in terms of, what I'm saying is like there is some validity to what you're saying, a lot of it, right? Yeah, like I'm saying that some of it is just these, you know what? This is something that I heard. I might have heard Ye say this. but it was profound to me. And he was just like, man, hater bitches marry hater niggas and have hater kids. Like
Ooh
some
wee.
of this shit is just in them. You know what I mean? Like
It is, bro.
it's just in them. You know, hey, whether yo, I think, because I what I'm saying is I know niggas whose dad was there, but they daddy is a bitch ass nigga.
I mean, right.
You know
You
what I
right.
mean?
The apple
Like
don't fall far from the tree.
it just, you know what I mean? Like it just is what it is.
It is that. It's a lot. Like we used to make fun of them cats when I was young, right? Like we had whole songs
Yeah,
dedicated to
you
Captain
mess with like
Sabo.
yeah, them the type of cats that you trigger on purpose because you know they not gonna do nothing but just make a
They the
fool of
regular
themselves.
dude now, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
right. That's what I'm
I think
saying.
that's the regular man today.
That's what I'm. That's the, you know, it's a lot more because they're being handled a certain way by women. Like, you know, used to be where women would expose them just as much as the men would. But now
Right?
women are leveraging, you know what I mean, are leveraging it and exploiting it. So they got these dudes, you know, they stroking their egos when really, you know, they don't really think much of them. But because these males are willing to, you know, tolerate their foolishness, then they'll play the game with them. And so these dudes don't know that they're that. That's just how. That's what my opinion is.
No, I think you're right, man. And shit's just different. Like I don't know, shit's different, bro. I was telling you earlier, I was on my guy podcast from Minneapolis, right?
No,
And shout out,
I caught the end of the conversation. I was saying like it was a good conversation. I wish I had got in on it earlier.
man. I'm trying to get us to link up, right? But one of the chicks on there was like, she's like, it took me till I was 30 to figure out I could be wrong, and I'm like, nah, you knew you was wrong, but nobody held you account. No,
Right.
I just knew I was right. I'm saying no fucking way you didn't know you was wrong. You went home and was like, I'm wrong, but everybody making it okay.
Yeah.
And she's
That's
like,
my.
well,
Yep.
she had a baby by a cat that was 65 when she was 20 something. I said,
Oh,
ain't no
I heard
right,
a part. Yeah.
ain't
Right.
no fucking way,
No.
bro.
Real man.
Everybody failed you in your life, right? But it's crazy that I know a chick in South Bend that had a baby when she was in her 20s by a dude that was 64, right? And I'm just like, so what the fuck happened? That 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 can't be my kid, bro. Right? Again, I grew up in a different time. No disrespect to women who listen. I'm first off, let me say this because I support sex workers. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But when I grew up,
I don't support them, but
I listen.
if
We
that's your
buy
thing, that's your
every
thing.
other thing on this earth that we want. That's the one thing we all want that we don't buy. Right? It's frowned
Right.
upon. It's
I don't support the mass distribution of and commerce of sugar, but I buy it and I eat it. You know what I'm saying? So
okay. But when I was growing up, bro, the word said if your daughter ended up on the pole, you failed as a father.
that's
Right?
you don't believe that?
Oh no, I did. I don't disagree.
Okay,
Right?
that's what. Okay, all
I'm
right,
not saying. Listen, I'm not saying that was how it was. Right?
right.
So
But today is different.
if my daughter was dating a dude my age, bro, or older,
But
I
bro,
couldn't.
I'm saying today though, most men will defend strippers and all that. They'll defend whores. They just will because, and I'm saying that's because that's the only type of woman they can get pussy and attention from.
All right, so I can roll with that. I know me and you on different sides of the body card, and do what you want. Right? It don't matter to me because I'm not. I'm gonna pick what I'm picking.
Yeah, you can, but I'm saying we still have to acknowledge the other side of it. Is what I'm
Right, the
saying.
other side. I don't. I'm more on the sexual freedom side. You do what you
Hey,
want.
I'm not the guy that's gonna try to save a bitch at all, right? You know what I'm saying? Do you?
If you yeah, you do you. If that
I
makes you happy,
believe
it
no,
makes me happy
I
too.
believe in concubines. I believe that certain women are bred to be that. And you know what I mean? Like whether it's right
That's
or
all they
wrong,
gonna
I
be.
just believe it.
No,
Right?
you know
That's
what?
just
You're right. Right. Like there are. So I talk to young men. I say young men. I'm old. I'm 48. So to me, young men is 35 and below. When I talk to these younger dudes, you know, they oh man,
we
you don't
gotta
know how
stop
hard.
saying that though, bro.
But I mean, I'm
No, because
bro.
I'm saying when you get you, that's what I'm saying. You got a lot of 35-year-old men like they think that, oh, I'm still young. I'm still young. Like nigga, you're not that
You
young to
old in
be
black
thinking
man
like
years,
that.
right?
Right? Like you,
But
bro. You know what I'm saying? Like young man to me is 21, 22,
okay,
maybe up to
younger dudes,
25.
right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
okay.
younger
I'll take
dudes,
it. I'll
right?
take that. All right.
I talk to these younger dudes, and 30s, and I'm just like, man, bro, what? They got every excuse under the sun about all the things that's wrong with women. So one of my guys, we go round and round. He's like, man, this is his word. This is shortage of good black women. I'm like, bro, listen,
False.
I'm married to a white woman. I have connected two of my black homies with two beautiful, amazing black women. They are both married. They are both creating families. I said, how in the fuck can I find black women and I'm not even in the market, right? But you telling me it's a shortage. I said, I'll even subscribe to that for a second. If there's 175 dudes that are starving and there's 100 steaks, I don't want to hear about the shortage until 100 motherfuckers ate. Right? You can't tell me it's a shortage,
Yeah.
but you don't, but y'all
Yeah.
don't have any. It's
Can't
not a
argue with
shortage.
that. Can't argue with
Right?
that.
That's the reality, right?
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
shortage of a lot of shit, but it don't
Yeah.
affect us. There's a
Yeah.
shortage of food in the world. But Americans ain't eating it. Americans ain't having that problem. We throwing food away.
Wow. Can't argue with
Right?
that.
So I hear these dudes talking about it's a shortage of good black women. And I'm like, bro, y'all full of shit. It's not a shortage. We
Yeah.
have this. So I had this discussion today or yesterday, one of the two. Dude was like, oh, a lot of these women have men, they cheating on them, they this, that, and the other. I said, bro, listen, you said, and this is his words, black women need to choose better men to procreate with and to marry. I said, so you didn't say they need to like them. You didn't say they need to love them. They're choosing these dudes.
Yeah.
I said, what there is a shortage of is men that women actually like. That's what there's a shortage of. And I gotta let me see if I can pull it up.
Yeah.
Right? I have a
No talk.
I just saw a goddamn little, what do you want to call it? A photo, whatever you want to call it, a study of where the fuck was it at? Because I feel like I'm lying right now. But it said,
You say you feel like you lying?
I feel like I'm lying because I just gotta find that motherfucker, bro. I just saw that shit. It was 30% of men over the age of 30
What's the
are
percentage again?
like 30% of men over the age of 30. I'm looking for this shit right now, bro, to see if I find it. I gotta find it. But they were saying that these dudes are unable to have not had sex since they were 18. Now, I'm not saying they had sex at 18, but they have been unable to have sex with a woman since they were 18, and these dudes are 30.
Hmm.
That's crazy to me because it's out here.
When you say unable, what do you mean?
Involuntarily celibate, incel, right? Dudes who want to have sex but are unable to do so. And I'm like, that's a real, like, I learned the term involuntarily celibate or incel in 2022, 2023, either late 2022 or early 2023. I kept seeing it. I'm like, all right, look this shit up.
Did they say what the reasons why?
Women don't fuck with them. And I can justify it, right? So this is where I try to explain to me. I said, listen, a woman doesn't owe you shit because you have a good job and because you're a decent person. You still have to stimulate her emotionally, mentally. There's got to be some kind of chemistry there, right? You don't want to get used for your money, right? Let's
Right.
keep it real.
Right.
So what is it? What is it that you expect her to? Uh, what reason do you expect her to fuck with you? If it's not for your money, right? It's not for your resources, and you cannot emotionally stimulate her. What reason does she have to look your fucking way? And I said, think about it this way: women get hit on pretty much nonstop. The more attractive you are, the more motherfuckers try to holler at you in a day, right? Let's just say for simplicity purposes, it's 10 men a day trying to holler at this chick. If she give everybody attention, she ain't gonna never get where she's trying to go. So you gotta have something. You gotta be exceptional in some form or fashion. And I
But
think these
I
dudes
don't
just
even
can't.
think you gotta be. It's not hard. It's not hard to stimulate a woman.
Not at all.
You just gotta be masculine.
Confidence, right? Masculinity. So
Right? Yeah. Like I don't. That's what I'm struggling with. That. Like
I would struggle if I didn't have friends that actually struggle. So I see it firsthand.
Yeah, struggling, but having people that struggle versus people who just can't. Like you use the word
Bro,
involuntarily celibate is
it's crazy.
that's crazy to me.
I got a homie and I love him to death. So I'm gonna keep this story as general as possible. He can't. He almost fuck a lot of A lot of chicks. That's man. I was finna.
What?
Man, so one time, we chatting, right? We talking or whatever, we kicking
Oh
it. He was
shit.
like, "Man, she got naked, this, that." And I said, "No, hold on, bro. Why she get naked? Because like you didn't smash, right?" Well, I was watching her kids. She was taking a shower, and she kind of walked. I'm like, "Damn, bro, you watching kids for a chick that you don't? I don't know. It's my guy done been through it,
So
bro.
he said he accidentally seen her. Basically, he accidentally seen
Back,
her.
but he worded it different, right? So I had to dig because I knew it was some
I know,
bullshit
but
to it.
but I'm saying, did she know that he
Basically,
seen her? Did he? Did
yeah,
she?
I'm not sure on that one, but it was definitely not. She didn't come out like, "Hey, look at this," and come on in the room type shit, right? That's what it wasn't for sure. Uh, but my guy be going through it. You know what I'm saying? He be going through it, right? Like he just different homie. That's what I'm gonna say. um, we went out the other day, right? I hit my guy. I'm like, bro, it's day drink time. Like I had a shitty day. We go to a little bar. We sitting down chilling. And some chicks on the other side of the bar and shit. I'm like, here we go, bro. He said, what you mean? I said, I don't give a fuck. This chick finna come over and make a conversation. Ah man, you be saying that shit, but it ain't true. I'm like, bro, she finna come over and make a conversation. Lo and behold, she came over, made a conversation, right? Like, hey, I'm married, blah blah blah. He's like, bro, how you know that shit? I'm like, I seen it coming, right? I think women can see confidence in a man, masculinity in a man, and a
Yeah.
lot of men
So
lack that.
I think that's the conversation. When you already said like it's a lot of weak men. I think that's the conversation. And weak to me is, those symptoms also include lack of emotional intelligence, lack of
100%.
expressive language, right? Lack of discipline, lack of initiative, lack of direction. You know what I mean? Lack of vision.
Hmm.
So you know what I mean? And because in this society we've been reduced, or manhood and masculinity have been reduced to finances and status. You know what I mean? When that is a construct. That is something that, yeah, a naturally masculine man is going to be a man of provision, right? But
Yes, sir.
the word provider is not reduced to finances. You provide guidance, you provide protection, you provide, discipline, structure, all those different things. You know what I mean?
But
So
let me ask: is it that we've been reduced to that, or is that just what these dudes have taught themselves? Because I got homies that are unfortunately dead broke that still can pull them with no problem, who don't even pretend to have finances. Right? Don't get me wrong. I shouldn't say dead broke like that. Let me take that back. They're making it.
yeah, I'm not saying every man conforms to that. I'm
Right,
just saying that the construct. That's when I say construct, I'm talking about the social energy, right? And unfortunately, a lot of people fall victim to constructs. Just like, in terms as far as construct, women have been reduced to, sexual objects, right?
no doubt, no doubt.
But every man doesn't conform to or subscribe to that, nor does every woman. But I'm saying
Yeah,
socially, that's the energy, though. You know what I mean?
right. So let's talk about the sexual part because you brought up something I saw recently. I saw a little Facebook post said if your girl doesn't have sex with you at least this many days a week, is it okay to cheat? I'm like, is that all a relationship is to these motherfuckers is sex? Because there's so much more to it.
Yeah,
And
no,
don't
but
get me wrong, you gotta have that sexual interaction.
not for them though. That's see you. That's that thing. I think sometimes you get lost in your success in your relationship, bro. Because like for you, it's way more to it. Like for me, I know it's way more to it. But I'm saying a lot of us just be matching demon energy. A lot of the culture, a lot of people just match, and a lot of people just be tangling with their sexual demons. Like that's really what keeps them in relationships, just their sexual demons.
The crazy part is the people that I be saying this is the ones with no relationship. Right? Like I think
Not
I
one
think
is honorable. They be having relationships. They're just not honorable enough
uh,
to present them.
okay. And that might be, right? But I'm like, man, the people who like this shit is weird to me, man. I don't get it. Um I don't get. I'm trying to avoid specifics and shit from specific people.
Why? When it's literally feelings not included.
You're right.
Why?
So one of the homies posted something the other day about if you take a chick on 3 or 4 dates, do she owe you something? I looked at that shit and I'm like, bro, that's crazy to think
But
a
did he
woman.
agree with that, or was he just asking a question?
I don't know, right? I don't know. I look at shit from my perspective. I ask a question, I'm probably in agreement with it. But it's like, but a lot of men feel like, man, I took you out on a date. I spent X number of dollars. You owe me some ass. You can take a chick out, spend zero, and insanely demolish the guts for the next 6 months, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. So the goal would be for me in that scenario would be like don't be the guy that is not able to gain a woman's attraction after so much invested time. Like that would have to no, you don't owe me nothing, but I'm not gonna find myself in that scenario. You know what I mean? Like once
right.
at first date, I got you already. You know what I
So
mean? Outside of
eh,
what unless I'm just not interested after the first date. You know what I'm saying?
right. Right. No, so I'm with you, right? And that's I think men fall into two categories when it comes to the first date sex shit. There are the men who are like, listen, this was the first date. She let me smash. It's because I'm the shit. Right? It's about you as the man. Then there's the dudes who are like, man, she let me smash on the first date. She ain't shit. Right? Because they don't see the confidence in themselves.
They can't
Um,
believe it, right?
they
You
can't
you
believe it.
you hit it. You
Dude are like,
you
man, if
hit it
I if
on
I
the
hit this on
head.
the first date, everybody hits this on the first date.
Man, not realizing that that can be a form of insecurity, right?
It is
Like
100%.
but I'm
Right?
saying like now, I'm not saying you just now you should know who you dealing with. You know what I mean? Now, if you just if you already met her and you already know she known for letting niggas smash on the first date, okay, then take your
Hey,
turn and get out the way. You know what I'm saying?
I had a
But
homie
you know,
look, I connected a homie with a chick. I'm like, listen, she's not wifey material. Smash and dash. She's okay with it. I'm not disrespecting her either. I'm telling you, bro, I said it. They were sitting next to each other in my bar. I'm like, she ain't wife material. She agreed with me. He fell in love anyway. It didn't work out. right.
how do you fall in love with somebody? Did the girl acknowledge like too like yeah I'm not?
She- bro, right on site. She was like, man, listen, I had a baby on my husband. Right? That's what flat out. That was her words. I had a baby on my husband. I'm not. These 3 to 6 months, I'm done. Right? I lose
So this
interest.
is your homie?
I'm cool. Right? We cool. Right? I don't listen. I got a
He
wife. I don't
said,
care how
"We
anybody else
cool,
behaves. Right?
we
It's
cool."
not one of the. I would say that one of the things about my life and having been with my woman so long is we have mutual acquaintances of both sexes.
Yeah, yeah,
Right? And so I get the real, bro, from the females. I get the real.
yeah, for sure.
Sometimes it's too real. Sometimes I don't want it. Right?
Yeah,
And sometimes I'm
be
like,
like
stop
that.
telling me that shit because I got to look at my homie and I want to
Yeah,
look at him different.
yeah, be like
Um,
that.
you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, for sure.
but when I know she told me this story before I even introduced them, right? And she was like, "Yeah, I had a husband. He was cool, but yeah, he wasn't doing what I needed him to do. So I ran into this dude, and we started hanging out and had a baby. And the husband thought it was his, and her mama was like, "That's not his baby." Right?
Crazy,
You know what I'm saying? Like her
crazy.
mama was like, "That's not his baby. You need to be honest." And then so
Man, one day I want to talk about the laws that need to be in place to deal with that issue
so
in another conversation.
no doubt, right? So I saw somebody posted something earlier in this little group. I'll be in a relationship group trying to figure out what the hell going on in the world. And it was like, well, women got it too good because if a man, if a man has a kid and he finds out 5 years later he's got a kid, he got to pay back money. If a woman has a kid, she blames it on the man and find out he says he don't get anything back. Bro, we made them rules. That's that. You got to blame us for that.
Yeah,
Women didn't, bro. Women didn't make laws. We made the motherfuckers. Right? As men, we made the motherfucking laws. Let me see what the comments say. She said, or she let you smash because she just wanted
yeah.
some. And about you is about the sex only. Right? That's real too, right?
But
Um,
that's my homegirl Linya. I don't know that that's I, you know what I just I got my thoughts on how that works with women. You know what I mean? Like do you believe a healthy woman can leverage
uh,
herself in that way and it
bro.
just be no feelings included, it's just about the sex? A healthy woman will do that.
So
That's
you
the
you got to throw healthy in there. None of us are fucking healthy, bro.
no,
Look,
that's no. That's the
I
but
have a
go
friend. We used to call her Anytime Amy, right?
man, what?
Anytime Amy. Amy was down,
Man, this
right?
dude is stupid.
I'm keeping it real. No, when I say that, we didn't like hide that shit. That's like Anytime Amy. You know what I'm saying? Like
No, okay. So was Anytime Amy healthy though?
Anytime Amy is married and happy right now, but she used to be
Oh
wild.
no, that's an assumption. That's an
No,
assumption.
they happy.
Mary
They
can be
happy.
Mary can be factual. Happiness, that's
They
subjective.
look, they appear happier than the motherfuckers I be seeing.
Okay, that's now
Right?
though. But I'm saying then at that point in her life,
Oh, Amy loves. I don't know.
bruh,
I'm sure something led to that.
I cannot.
Right?
That's unbelievable. I cannot
She
believe
was
that.
like one of the homies. Right? Like
See,
she had the
that's a
mind
false
of a
narrative.
man. right?
no, that's impossible.
But
Kai,
but
you
let me
know
let,
better than that.
but let me explain, right? She she'd be like, "Hey, I'm trying to smash him." Like that's who she was.
I'm not saying that's not who she was, but I'm saying when you make statements like she had the mind of a man, we
What
just
I
got done
mean by
talking
that,
about how different we are.
we
We
are
like
different.
men.
We are
Okay, so she
different,
didn't have the mind of a man. She
but
probably had the.
every
She may have engaged in the behaviors of an
okay,
undisciplined
she
man.
had the characteristics of a man when it came to sex, right? She was very feminine. She was very, attractive. She was very woman-like, but she was just like sex is sex to me. Now, I don't
But
know her
men
history.
men chasing sex versus women chasing sex is two means two different things.
What
Totally.
I wouldn't say she chased it because it always came to her. Right? She was not unattractive.
That's easy. What I'm
Right.
saying is that
But
I'm saying a woman being receptive to promiscuous sex versus a man being on that is still two different things.
I,
It's very different. It means two different things.
I
Like and the reason why is because if I'm saying what sex represents to that dynamic is what I'm saying. Like men, women control the access to sex in that way,
I don't
right?
like that, bro. I don't like that. I don't like when men say women control access to sex because
But I'm saying that's what we do. I'm saying that's what it is in terms of like we control access to a commitment.
it has to be mutual and consensual, right? I think for most men,
But yeah, but bro, you Kai, you already know this, bro. I'm saying that like most women
for the average
take
man, okay,
the
I do that.
the average woman looks at like they buy into a man if he's willing to commit to them and talk about marriage and entertain that, right?
Them
That's
the
how she
old
can
days,
buy
fam.
into you.
Them my
No,
days.
I'm it's the old days in terms of like how we go about it, but I'm saying still, you have to convince her that you committed to her, generally speaking, from a traditional standpoint. And a woman, that's how you like her when she gives you access, you believe that it's something about you, that she likes you. You know what I'm saying? Because she
Okay, I
gives
can
you
roll with that.
access. That ain't we don't a man having sex with a woman don't mean he like her
Not at all. Right? We
at
don't we
all.
don't we don't associate sex with love
So
or
I'm
even
saying
like.
those when we engage in sexual activity, they mean two different things.
I would say for most of us, I do feel like, and you're right, maybe it's not healthy, but I do feel
Take the
like
health part out of it. I'm saying does sex mean the same thing to men and women? Do you think that
generally no. I think there are
that's all I'm
exceptions,
saying. That's all I'm
right?
saying.
She was a fucking exception.
Why do you think she was an exception?
Probably because she had a fucked up upbringing. I don't know. I didn't
So
dig.
that she's not an exception. She was a traumatized being.
Okay. Oh,
You know what I mean?
again,
That's not an
I think most
exception
of
would
us are in
and,
this
and
fucking day
yeah,
and
but
age.
I'm saying an exception would be a woman that actually generally is engaging in sex for the same reason that men are. That would be an exception. I ain't never met it, you know what I mean, or experienced it,
I'm
but I'm
making the
saying
assumption because I'm not used to it, right? But
she
anyways,
put on a dope ass act for you. That's all that
she
was.
put it on for a lot of a lot of motherfuckers. And my point in telling
That's
you
like
about
Steve Harvey's book, Act Like a Woman, Think Like
think
a
like a
Man.
man.
Like, man, shut the fuck up.
Hey, but it was crazy because I had another homie, right? So we out one night. I'm like, man, it's Amy, right? Don't fall in love. Don't hit raw. Like that. I'm gonna always give my guys the truth. I'm like,
Okay.
don't fall in love. Don't hit raw. Matter of fact, I'm like, bro, listen, I'm gonna make it so you don't even. Man, I didn't hook more dudes up with chicks than any other dude on earth. I'm like, bro, listen, me and the wifey got a room. It's a little hotel across the street. We gonna kick it. We gonna go across to the little store, grab some drink. I'm like, get you some condoms. We're gonna jump in the pool for a little bit because it's still early enough for us to kick it in the pool. Then we gonna all go our separate ways. Do your thing. You know what I'm saying? So we kick it. We go to the store. My guy, I didn't check his bag, right? But you know what I'm saying? Long story short, we kick it. We go our separate ways. Next day, I'm rapping at my guy. I'm like, man, how I go? Oh man, it was excellent. I'm like, bro, did you get them things? You know what I'm saying? Because I know who she is.
Yeah.
She gonna bust it open for you. He was like, man, I didn't, man. I didn't see him. I'm like, bro, stop, cut it out. You know where they at in every grocery store. But anyway, he's like, man, I kind of think she cool. I kind of like her. I'm like, bro, that's not the
Oh
one,
shit.
right? I'm like, don't do that. Oh no, I'm just saying she real. I'm like, she cool, bro. She cool like we cool, right? Like when I say she like one of the homies, she's like one of the homies. But I tell everybody you can't kick it with her because unlike the homies, if y'all get alone, she gonna try you,
My
right?
point exactly.
But my guy was deep in love, bro, and that was I was like, bro,
That
you
nigga
can't.
wasn't in love, bro. He just
He
was a
was in
nigga that
lust, but
he,
she got him, and I'm just like, man, it's
that's what we
I've
talking
seen that.
about. Weak
I've
niggas,
seen that too many
weak
times.
niggas that could they only can get pussy from whores and sluts. So I'm saying and we have an abundance of that these
It's
days.
it's
They're just
crazy.
and the fact that there's so many of them, they can pose as the strong majority, right? So now it's like men like us, if we start speaking to a certain standard or a certain quality or caliber of woman, then they able to deflect and say that we the ones that's insecure. Like you
Bro,
insecure
I've been called a
if
simp more than
man,
more.
if you don't let your woman wear whatever she want to wear, then you insecure. Like what? Like man, what
So
kind?
I had a conversation about the girls trip thing, right? Because I'm going round and round. Man, if you let your girl go on a girls trip, I said, bro, listen, I know chicks that I'm gonna keep it all the fucking way real because this feelings not included. Back in the day, we used to party in this month. When I say party, bro, our kids would go, you know what I'm saying, stay with their grandparents, whatever. I would have a party in the basement, main floor, upstairs, right? Whole house jar. I would hire one of my homies as a DJ. He DJs for night. I bring him in. We had a motherfucking party. One night, two of my homies come. Matter of fact, it was fucking anytime baby. One of my guys used to date her, but that's how I met her, right? So, damn, that's so fucked up. So anyway, we kick it. It's getting late. My guy, mind you, my guy, anytime Amy and my other homie rolled together.
Man, you can call her anytime,
I
Amy.
mean, that's
Yours
what we should
too.
call it, right? So my homie gets super drunk, pass out. It's like 4 in the morning, 4:30. The way it used to work, bro, we party so hard. Sometimes I'm like, man, if you here after a certain time, just crash because it ain't worth driving. So we doing the cleanup. Me and upstairs, main floor. I go in the basement to clean up. Anytime Amy down there going to work, right? She's smoking a blunt, but for lack of better terms, it wasn't a blunt. Um,
Right.
I'm looking. I'm like, damn, that's bro that roll with bro. That roll with y'all, right? She look at me like, you want action? I'm like, nah, I want no action. Right? You crazy, right? But this who she is. So I get the fuck up out of there, right? It's my house. I get the fuck up out of that room. Next morning, I wake up. She laid up with her dude, and I'm just like, damn, right? Like that's crazy. But my whole point of saying is, she don't gotta take a girl trip to cheat, bro. A chick that's gonna get down is gonna motherfucking get down. She don't gotta
Yeah.
leave town. Um, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, I gotta agree. I was before Leah said that, I was just getting ready to say, like, hey man, Kai, I don't know if you realize how much you contributed to hypersexuality because
I
your
listen. All
magic.
I do, I don't stop it. I don't encourage it. I don't
No, you
stop it.
do. You just
No, if
you
you
gave
come,
everybody the alley oop. You've said
yeah,
it. You
I
acknowledged it.
will. I'll throw you the alley oop. But
Then
listen, the shot
that's
was open. There was no defense. I just threw you the hoop.
right.
You was gonna score
But
either
you
way.
definitely condoning it though. You definitely
Mhm,
condoning it
mhm.
by
Yeah, absolutely. And that's okay. And here's why I condone it.
this dude is crazy.
Listen, and this is probably gonna sound weird, but I know male or female, my friends gonna do some wild shit. I know if I plug you with this cat or this chick, that wild shit is gonna be as safe as possible, considering the fucking.
How? You
What I
just
mean
got
by
you got done
what I
telling me
mean
what
by
your
is
homie.
I don't mean sexually safe. I mean ain't gonna be no violence or no unintended somebody taking forcing somebody into shit. That's
Okay,
what I'm saying.
right. Okay, I get that. What I'm
Right?
saying is that if we having a conversation about how the the problems that exist in society, especially as it relates to like healthy relationships and the lack of traditional dynamic, family dynamics, then it's like you are actually
100%.
contributing to the
Yes.
behavior that's opposite of that.
Listen, I have a therapist, obvious for obvious fucking reasons. I'm gonna tell you, like I told her, uh, I'm a bad dude, do a lot of good shit. Right? And what I mean by it is I understand the things I've done in my life. I don't pretend I haven't done them,
Okay.
but I try to not for religious reasons or anything else, I offset my bad shit with the good shit.
Mhm.
I do good shit to make me feel better about the bad shit. But I don't listen, me telling a grown ass man or grown ass woman don't do that is unrealistic.
No, I don't think that's your
False.
job. I don't think that's your job
No.
to do that.
Right. So what I'm gonna tell you is don't fucking fall in love, right? Don't fall in love with this motherfucker, right? Don't
So you just you
you're
just
going to
participate
do it.
in the transparency of it.
You know how there are certain parents like, listen, if you're gonna drink alcohol at home. right? That's who I am,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Okay,
I
alright,
like you
alright.
gonna do
So
it
you
anyway.
you provide a safe and stable environment
I'm
for
trying to tell you, I know you're gonna do this dumbass shit. So be as smart with this dumb shit as you can be, right?
Okay, alright.
I mean that's bro. I've done it. I've hooked a lot of cats up and chicks up with dudes, and there's a couple times that I got burned where I'm like, man, I thought this was gonna be a good relationship and or a good start because I don't invest in anybody else's relationship, but there's a couple times, um, nah, no, I'm not. No, listen, that's not what's happening. That's a conversation. That's a different conversation. That's not
Okay,
what's happening. But I
okay.
feel what you're saying though.
I know why that's not
Right,
happening. I
right.
know that.
But but
Yeah,
so so my thing is this, right? And I don't say I've been burned. I've connected people who I thought were going to be. I'm like, this is a good dude, this is a good chick, and
yeah,
dude smashed and dip, right? I mean, it happens, right? So like I say, I've been burned a couple times. That's what I mean, right? I've
yeah,
tried to do right, and uh, it didn't go right.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I realized grown folk gonna do what grown folk do,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. I
Grown
agree
folk do what grown folk
100%.
do. It's not
Yeah.
it's not my motherfucking responsibility. Right? We might as well just bring her in. You know what I'm saying? She might as well just
That
go on in.
that's my homegirl, man.
But it's not my responsibility to make two consenting adults make a better decision.
I agree 100%.
I'm not going, I'm not gonna go out and be like, man, you should. But if the opportunity is there and both parties are interested, and I can speak on behalf of the validity of the safetyness of both parties, I'll connect y'all.
No, I get
I
it.
know some wild motherfuckers, bro.
I get no, I
I mean, it's bro. I can go down lists. Yes, I am guilty of encouraging some shit that I knew was destined to happen. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'll encourage some shit, but again, like I
Because
say,
okay, this is what I'm talking about. When I say the practicality of it is this, like you giving two people who you already know are irresponsible, you giving them responsible advice.
it's not responsible. I'm just like, if you gonna
But
do it,
even I'm saying that is response. Like you telling them to be responsible, but they are already two irresponsible people. They are not going to receive your responsible, advice.
right? But they are
So
irresponsible prior to me, right? So
yeah, facts.
I'm not
No,
responsible
I'm
for their
saying
irresponsibility,
that's why I'm saying that it is impracticality. It's like
bro.
I'm telling you, like when you say, "Hey, bro, don't fall in love,"
I
like
mean,
bro, like
that's
come
my
on,
role as my. But so here's
But
who I am,
you
right?
be actually expecting them not to fall in love? If you gotta
Common sense.
if you gotta
Listen,
tell right, common sense would tell them not to,
common
right? If they
sense would
if they know
say,
they finna
right.
if they know they finna if we finna get down under these pretenses, like you don't know me from
Okay, here's
you know
here's
what I
who I am. Let
mean?
me let me explain it this way. I'm the type of cat to say, listen, don't touch the stove because it's hot. Now you know the stove is hot, but you can't get mad at me once I tell you the stove is hot. If you touch the stove and it's hot and I ain't say don't touch it, common sense say it's hot. But I
Right.
didn't. I
But
did my part.
the difference
Right?
is this: if I had to tell babies don't touch the stove
No doubt.
because it's hot, right? So if I gotta tell you don't touch the stove because it's
I treat
hot,
everybody
then
the same.
I know that you know what? If I'm really trying to help, I'm just gonna cut the stove off because you don't have the capacity to be able to conduct yourself.
Stoves are everywhere. Right? Stoves are everywhere.
I know. I
So,
just ain't gonna. It's just I'm gonna stand back and be like, "Hey,
bro,
I already know where this is going."
but again, on the flip side, I've connected people
You got
who
some
are
success.
are
Yeah.
still together and happy and
So
thriving.
your intentions are always
My
good.
intentions are this: if you two motherfuckers want to get together, I will assist you. I will give you the truth. Bro,
Yeah.
I said this
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I had a chick that used to always come to me like, "Hey, I'm thinking about dating this dude. What do you know about him?" I'm gonna always be truthful. Like, he's a bad dude to date, right? I had one chick, like I said before, told me I'm gonna stop asking you about dudes because you tell me shit I don't want to hear. That's on you, right? I've had chicks that dated dudes like, "What do you know about him?" Like, he beats his women, right? I don't want to deal with that. And then when she got her ass lit up, I should have listened.
Yep.
I'm like, hey,
Yep.
I'm gonna say the same thing that I say the same thing to women and men. I'm going to arm you with the information you need to make an informed decision. The decision is yours, right? But you won't ever look at me like, man, why didn't you tell me? Oh, I told you, bro. I got a homie. Man, I was just with my guy the other day. We talking, and I'm like, bro, did you block this motherfucker or not? Oh no, man. I said, then you want that access. You won't. I ain't answering her calls. I said, I didn't ask you for answering. She wilded the fuck out and you didn't block her. That means you want to
Yeah,
continue to you may not want to answer the call, but you want to know she's calling.
yeah,
But he said, bro, I love you so much, but I hate talking to you because you always tell me the shit that's the truth that I don't want to hear.
right.
Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah,
Like, bro, and I know some brothers that have been through some shit that I deem unacceptable, but that's unacceptable for me. I have a they broke up fucking finally because she left. I had a homie. I'm like, bro, listen, I'm probably the most respectful dude when it comes to who you date. Don't my exact words to him is, don't bring that bitch around me, bro. I love you too much for me to hold my tongue. And the
mm,
shit you tell me is unacceptable to me,
yeah,
right? So if you bring her around, you understand that I'm gonna give her the business. And I don't mean in a physical way, right? I'm gonna tell her she ain't shit.
yeah, yeah,
Cause
yeah,
you won't. I said, so just based on me loving you as my guy, don't bring her around me.
yeah.
I said, because the shit you tell me, I'm already mad at you for. Like every time we would rap, I'm like, bro, you leave her yet? Leave her yet? Ah, man, I'm like, don't give me no excuse, right? Because you didn't, y'all ain't had no kids, y'all ain't had no property, y'all didn't have none of that shit to split. You paying her motherfucking mortgage, all this other crazy ass shit,
And they ain't even on the motherfucking. Oh, that's crazy.
bro. When I man,
That's
I'm not
crazy.
even finna go down that motherfucking route because then they'll know I'm talking about him. So I'm gonna skip that one. But I had another homie hook him up with a chick. You know what I'm saying? They went out. Good. She's a good black woman, career minded. Not saying she put a career over everything else, but she has no kids because she didn't meet a dude that she felt was worthy of her womb. Uh,
Okay.
they went out a few times, and the 2 or 3 dates. I think the third or fourth date, girl canceled it, and she ain't trying to fuck. I said, well, the situation, in my opinion, wasn't optimal for trying to smash a chick. You going out of town, but you going out of town and you hang out with your family at your family's place. You don't have a room. You don't have, you crashing at somebody's crib. Uh, I'm like, that's
That was
not.
that was that was his situation,
Yes, like that's
and
not
she was
optimal.
aware of that.
She was like, I don't want to stay at your people house. Like we can, you can take me back to the crib or we can get a room,
Oh, that was more okay. All right.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But bro's like, he canceled the date because he was like, man, she ain't giving me no ass, right? So he canceled the date.
Which he proved her right. He proved that she made the right decision.
Right. But what
Essentially.
was crazy was, again, we have a different relationship because we have mutual friends. She was like, man, I was ready. I planned on that's why I
Oh,
didn't want to
she
go.
was.
She was ready. So that's why I didn't want to go to nobody's house. I wanted us to have alone time. And I'm
Mm.
like, I even told bro later, I'm like, bro, you blew it. Oh, that's just what she said. I'm like, well, I gotta believe what she said, right? But it happens, bro. I'm always going to try to plug up people for whatever purpose, right? It doesn't matter if it's a 35 minute, you know what I'm saying, encounter,
Escapade.
escapade, or whatever, right? That's listen. If you want access to one of my friends and one of my friends want access to you, I feel like I'm hating if I don't connect y'all, right? I'm in
Nah,
the way.
I'm giving you a hard time on that. Like I know how it go, man. I know how it go.
I mean, you gonna do it with or without me,
Yeah,
right?
that's why I
Let
said
me let me may
I
as
know
well.
how I go, and I mean I ain't tripping because I do believe that's what this life is about. You know what I mean? Like living it on your terms. You
Yes,
know,
sir.
I just think that with that though, you have to see. I live by those rules, but I also embrace the consequences that come with it, whatever they are. You know what I mean? I take
Right,
full
right.
accountability.
No
But
doubt.
we culturally don't do that. Like and that's why I think the problem I don't think the problem is in how we choose to live our lives wholly. I think the problem is in our lack of accountability as it relates to how we choose to live our lives.
Okay, I can roll with that. I'm with that.
Because I'm saying like right now, look at the conversations that we having that we witness on social media or whatnot. We talk about broken homes, right? We people refuse to accept their role in it. You have a large portion of women can only focus on the 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 man's role or lack thereof
Mhm.
in the situation, and men do the same thing. It's like that proves that we are not we are not deserving of the free will that we have, because I think that with free will comes the responsibility of you accepting everything that comes with it.
100%. I am always, again, I'm still more traditional, even though I be on some wild shit. I feel like men have a higher role, right? I was having this conversation with my guy, and he said, "Man, you act like women have no responsibility for themselves." I said, I don't act like that, but I look at the shit this way. Every place I've seen a woman fuck up, a man fucked up to allow that to get to that point. Her father, right? Her whoever she's dating, for
Yeah.
instance, if a chick is running a dude over, I'm not whole. I don't blame her for that. He's allowing that to happen. It's
I
a
mean,
high probability.
she's still lousy as shit for
She
being
lousy
that
as
way.
shit, but he's dating her. She could
Yeah,
be lousy as
nah,
shit and be single,
nah. I don't disagree. I don't
right?
disagree with what you're saying.
I don't, and it's wrong. And I know it sounds well. It maybe ain't wrong. I don't put as much blame on a woman because I feel like there was a man in her life that dropped the ball. Her father, her uncle, her brother, the dude she's dating. Like when we have these, even so, like my guy was like, "Well, what about all these dudes having these kids? Motherfuckers go to Future and all that." I'm like, bro, his daddy fucked him up. Somebody's daddy either didn't raise him right or wasn't present. That's that's just what I believe, and I feel like as men, we call ourselves, especially black men, we're kings. We're bro. If you a king, and all your, and I'm not gonna say your queen or your princess or your princesses, all your peasants is fucked up. You ain't leading that shit right,
Yeah, I
right?
agree. I agree.
To me, shit rolls uphill, not downhill, right? Whether it's religion, politics, whatever the fuck, we always look at the person at the top when shit is fucked up at the bottom. Except for when it comes to relationships, we want we want the traditional men have power, men are in control, but then we don't want that responsibility that comes with it, right? And then I like to use real life examples, and
Mhm.
that's where me and people, I'm saying, bump heads. 'Cause I'm like, well, realistically speaking, right? If if you tell me, you'll never date a woman that does this, this, and this, and your current girl is doing that shit, you fucking up. And when it fails, you're gonna talk shit about her,
Yeah,
right? Like you didn't accept it.
yeah,
I don't subscribe to what most, I'm gonna say, what typical men subscribe to in regards to a woman having girls' nights or girls' trips, this and the other, because I know I have witnessed firsthand. All you got to do is pass the fuck out, and she can cheat if that's who she is. There's nothing to do with her location. Now, I will say your woman should probably not want to take a girl trip with a bunch of single women.
yeah. It's the intent. It's the energy behind the shit.
Right, right. Your girl should not want to take a girls trip with a bunch of single women. But here's I used to say this to one of my homies. If my woman is in a room full of butt naked NFL players, it's her responsibility to fuck act right. No matter how she got in that motherfucking room. The
Facts.
situation doesn't matter, other than
Facts.
again somebody forcibly doing some shit that's outside of your
Yeah,
control.
but
It is
you still, how you end up in that room though? Still.
right. And there's a whole lot of shit that can lead to that.
Yeah.
But it's your responsibility to act right. It don't matter where you
Facts.
at.
Yeah. 100.
And I think we've lost, as men, we've lost that power that we used to have, not because it's been taken away, but because it's been given away. Right? We are now saying, well, what about her? What women did this? Women do that. What, like, bro? That I don't give a fuck.
We have a problem with why do we, and this is a question to you, why do you think that as a culture we have a problem with hierarchy, that structure of hierarchy, when most
I'm
when
gonna tell you. I'm gonna
other
tell you why.
cultures subscribe to it? Why do you think we have a problem
We
with
as
it?
black men have dropped the ball.
Mm,
We as black men have dropped the ball. You
mm.
know, somewhere we didn't do our part that allowed this shit to occur. Right? I
If
now
you if
that's where I'm a little. I would say raising our kids. Right? Not
you saying,
everybody.
but you're saying, so at like us, our generation raising our kids, yeah, you think that's
I
where
would
the ball
I
completely
would
was
I would
dropped?
I would say our generation had the worst part of it, and here's
I
why.
I think that we okay. Go ahead.
I was born in '76. I was 13 in '89 when crack hit this area hard. I had a lot of homies whose parents were crackheads, right? But
Mhm.
those dudes still did the shit they needed to do to get by, right?
Okay. So they were
We made
functional.
it through the craziest adversity, but I'm not even. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to say my generation's children. What I mean by my generation dropping the ball is we didn't guide the younger generation of men,
Okay. Okay.
those that are 10 years younger than us,
Yeah.
right? We didn't give a fuck, and maybe we felt like we needed to try harder because our generation, the generation of our parents, maybe didn't have as much, right? Or they
Yeah.
were addicted, or this, that, and the other. But we focused. I think we focused too much on us versus community, right?
Yeah.
And
Too
so
selfish.
we succeeded, but the
Mhm.
community failed.
Okay. I can get behind that. I can get behind that idea. I think obviously we will both agree that this happened over generations, and to a certain extent, but the manifestation of it in totality, we're living it right now.
Yep.
So I would agree with that. Like, cause I believe that we failed miserably. Like because we still had a certain level of, even though it was misguided and it was in a lot of ways it hadn't been earned. We still had a level of honor and respect for our elders,
Yes, sir.
but our children do not honor and respect us collectively. And to be honest, we haven't given them anything to honor and respect.
I was gonna say our generation, or excuse me, the generation before us, they earned it, right? We saw hardworking men and women. We saw men and women not, bro. My parents were not my friend, right? It wasn't
Right.
no friendship shit.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the lines, from our generation on down, we wanted to be cool with our kids.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I
Uh,
think for some reason, is it just me, or does it seem like we are, as compared to our predecessors, one of the more, generationally speaking, the more educated, but we did not leverage that education in a way that made a better, impact for our, laid a better foundation for our children, because
here,
even our children don't even value education the way that you would think they would, right?
here's my thoughts on it. My parents wanted better for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I wanted better for me too, right? Meaning their sacrifice was to give me opportunity to have the ability to do better.
Okay.
I feel like my sacrifice was so my children live better. I didn't necessarily sacrifice so they had more opportunity. I sacrificed so they had better life. Where my parents were like, listen, we're gonna go through all the hard shit so you don't have to. I was like, I'm gonna make sure you don't have to go through the hard shit. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thought. That's me personally. I can't speak to nobody else, right? And I say this because I had a kid at 18, and then I had my second child at 24, 23, 24. Um, the difference between what my son saw in life and what my daughter saw in life are completely different. My son was young, so he saw, we lived in Beacon Heights. That was our first place. When he was born, we lived in Beacon Heights,
Okay.
right? He saw the progression, right?
Right.
My daughter never saw us be poor.
Right. That
She
was
never
okay.
saw us struggle.
Yep.
Um,
Okay.
Now, I did take my kids uh to I used to take my kids to the hood. We used to go to Harrison School, and that's where they play on the playground. Because I'm like, I want my kids to understand where I came from and to see everybody don't have it as good as you have it, to
Yeah.
appreciate what you have.
Yeah. 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 So
Um,
you exposed them.
I expose them, but the lifestyle, bro. When I was growing up, my friends that had nice shit were drug dealers, right?
Mm-hmm.
My daughter's friend, her very first car at 16 was a $150,000 G wagon. I ain't never seen that, right? Like it was a difference. My son, and this is the part about being a parent that sucks. Your first kid gets the worst version of it. That's
Yeah.
just reality. As a
Facts.
man, I don't know if I can speak on women because I can't.
Yeah.
But
No,
as a
I would agree.
father, your first child gets the
Yeah.
worst version of it.
Yeah.
So, I remember my son saying to me, well, you bought my sister a brand new car for her 16th birthday. For my 16th birthday, you gave me a car, right? I gave this, and again, that's the reality of children. I gave my son, when he turned 16, I gave him the car I had. I bought a worse car, right? When he turned 16, I was 34. Shit wasn't all the way where it needed to be,
Mhm.
right? When my daughter turned 16, I was 40. Life was different.
Mhm.
So I went into a car dealership and I'm like, hey, I want to buy my daughter a brand new car. Not thinking to myself, looking at it from my son's perspective, that was different, right? Because it took a while, I think, if ever, right, for him to understand that I wasn't treating her better. I treated her the same. Situation was better.
Yeah, but I'm saying, isn't wasn't that a good lesson for him as a man? Like when men and women are different, right? Like they
Yes and
they
no, right? I think when you're teaching somebody a lesson with in general realities, but when it's in the same house, it's not looked at the same. She's not looked at as a woman or a female. She's looked at as your kid, like I'm your
yeah,
kid.
but you didn't but did you have the conversation though? That was the only that's the only
No,
thing.
I mean I had it later, right? At that because I didn't
Oh
know
yeah.
that he looked at it at that time,
Okay, okay.
right?
See, I had that conversation with my son. Like, yeah, they are even with their siblings, their sisters that are not mine biologically. When they talk to me about it, like I'm like, hey, them your sisters. They are women. They, you know what I mean? Like
So
it is a different thing.
we've had that conversation where I'm like, hey, listen, she's a girl, she's a female. We got to take care of, her, right? But like even with my brother, and he's been on a couple of the podcasts with us. He's like, man, I was the youngest. I'm the youngest of all my family. Oh man, you had it made. You were the baby. You were spoiled. This, that, and the other. Right? I hear from him how that is, and I look at my son, and he said the same kind of the same thing. Right? Like she had it easier. At the first kid gets the worst version. The last kid gets the best version. You've it sounds fucked up, but
But they
we
end up being the weakest
learn,
though. A lot of times though.
and I think that can be true. I think from my perspective, right? I only have two, and they're of different genders, so that makes life much. I think that makes the upbringing much different, right? Because my sister, or excuse me, my daughter had a brother, and he was rough with his sister, right? Like
Yeah,
my
I'm
brothers were
talking
rough with me.
about it. I'm talking about it in life though.
My daughter was, let me say it that way. We always works. I'm like, man, she's so trusting of the world. Like I struggle with, do I ruin her view of everything by saying how fucked up shit is,
Yeah.
or do I protect her and let her have this wonderful view of the world and hope to God she meets a man that can step in and take that responsibility from me and continue to allow her to think the world is a beautiful place and him do his job, right? And I was blessed that that situation came about. Um, but I mean that's the reality. Like I look at my wife, right, and I realize I'm like, again, we've been together a long ass time. She don't know how, and granted, she's white, so the risks are different. I'm gonna keep it all the way real. Um, but she does not have to worry about the fucked up realities of the world because that's my job. So we go out places. Her head's not on the swivel, right? My shit. I'm walking in. I'm counting exits when I hit the door. I need to know my
Yeah.
way out right from the jump. I need to know who looks shady from the jump, right? South Bend, right? So I don't know if you see this crazy ass video going around. There's a little spot on Portage. Motherfuckers went ham the other day. Like whole bar
Fighting.
fighting. It's a little hood spot. I kept hearing how good the food was, right? So we went and checked it out. I'm like, okay, listen, I'm keeping real. I love my people, but I know how the fuck we act at night, so I'm gonna go during the day. It was like 3, 4 o'clock. Took a little bit of time off early. Checked the food's fire, but it's a motherfucker in there talking shit out the gate. Right? It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Uh, dudes in there. It's like a little punching bag machine, right? Hitting the machine. The dude look at me and say, "Hey, big man, you want to hit this?" I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm cool." Right? Because I already know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna hit this
Yeah.
shit harder. Now we have a new problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So I'm like, nah. I'm like, man, I'm old. That's why I told him I'm an old man, bro. I ain't finna do that shit. My back hurt. I'm just running the shit because I don't feel like dealing with it.
Right.
Right? But I can sense in this young man aggression, and so he's looking for cats to beef with. And this is how fucked up it was. He looked at one dude. He's like, "Man, he talking shit." And he all in dude face. He like, "Dude talking shit to me." He picked the one dude in the bar that was deaf. Dude was not talking shit to him, right?
What?
And I looked at my girl. I said, "You know what? We're gonna take our food to go because I'm in super protection mode now because I know shit's finna go." So we laugh, and I'm like, "That bar ain't for me." I look at the little video that's floating around. Man, motherfuckers acting the fuck up. when I say a bar fight, bro, it was at least 15, 20 people in there throwing blows at random people. I don't even think it was. I think some people was fighting just to fucking fight. Um, but those situations are the situations where I think true men are looking like, I don't put myself in this position. I don't put my woman in this position because I understand that doing certain shit carries extra risk. Now, this is America. Where the fuck we go, we at risk. But it's certain shit you just don't do, right? You keep yourself out of shit. I hit you the other day when the shit jumped off in Indianapolis, man. I hit you. I hit Dre. I'm like, man, I'm checking on my people, right? Because
Mhm.
those are situations you can't control.
Yeah, yeah, man, which I appreciate too, by the way. Again,
Oh
just
no, no
yeah,
doubt,
yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Ain't no way in the world something gonna happen in your city, and I don't check on you and your people, uh, because you just don't fucking know, bro. Um, but I don't know, man. So I say all of that just as like I think if a young lady is raised properly by her father, she's still protected. She doesn't know all the dangers in the world. I don't get me wrong. I talk to her about men. I'm like, hey, listen, you're a woman. Cannot cannot put trust in men you do not know. Trust your father, trust your brother, trust your uncles, um, trust your grandfather. But if you don't, the objective for a lot of men is to talk you out of your body. So you have to take everything they say with a grain of salt. A man has to earn you, right? And
Yeah, but I
I used
think
to
that's
say,
the go ahead.
this, and I'll turn it over to you because I'm talking way too much.
No,
I
you
used to,
good, you
used to
good.
tell people, I used to tell my daughter and everybody else, I want to be the only man my daughter needs so she can find a man she wants. Right? By the time she was 16, she probably set foot on more continents and countries than most people double her age. By the time she was 16, she'd been Cayman Islands, Bahamas, Jamaica, Mexico, Canada, all over the fucking place. Because I'm like, I want to show you shit. So some dude with a goddamn buddy pass on Delta,
Ain't
you know what I'm
impressive.
saying, taking you to New Orleans ain't impressive. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that you don't deserve that shit. I'm just saying that I know how we work as men. So, but I've been talking. I'm gonna
Yeah,
let you
no,
run with it.
no, no. I was just gonna say like but that just speaks to the differences that in how we're designed. Like I'm gonna make my sons uncomfortable because I want them to be protectors and providers, right? So I want them used to being uncomfortable because that forces you to be problem solvers, critical thinkers,
Yes, sir.
to just be pay more attention, be aware, be mindful, right? I don't mind creating a state of simulated bliss for my for women in general, for my daughters, for what I mean. Like I don't because that's what I'm talking about when I say, loving a child and raising a child and loving a woman, right? It comes to the same thing. My daughter's gonna be a woman one day. You know what I'm saying? So the goal is to create heaven for her, let that, what I mean, and then so she can just be a feminine woman, right?
Yes, sir.
And then hand her off to a masculine man who is already understands his place and is going to continue that creating that reality for her, right? Maintaining that reality. And her job is to appreciate him and honor him the way that she did me, and even more so. And then also have the honor of bearing his children, right? You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Because and that's how I want, you know what I mean? But him, I'm hoping that this man comes from a background where his father or another man, you know what I mean, helped shape him and mold him as a man as well. But it's my job to vet that, right? And then they continue that. They continue that. Hey, you have sons, hey, do you? Obviously, this how we gonna raise our because hopefully y'all have children and they're my grandchildren. I'm here, you know what I mean? So I can help y'all rear them a little bit, right? And
Mhm.
it's like, hey, we're gonna make him uncomfortable. We're gonna mold him and breed him the way to be a stronger man than us, right? And then we're gonna, we gonna teach him to protect and honor and his sister, his mother or whatever. Like it's that's how you build strong family units, right? You know what I mean? The
Yes, sir.
women, man, keep them comfortable, keep them safe. Right? That's how you're gonna get the best version of them. That's how you're gonna get the ones that take pride in bearing and raising and rearing and nurturing children while you go out here and build what it is you want to build. And they going that nurturing is it's going to benefit you as well. And then you're gonna have somebody that you can hand it off to. You know what I mean? And you just
Yes,
grow it
sir.
even though it sounds complicated, it really isn't. But we have to be intentional about it.
No, I'm with you, man. Literally 100%. You hit that on. You know what I'm saying. You hit that nail on the head, bro. We have to create that fictitious world for our daughter, right? So they can become, because if a young woman has to be worried about all the shit that's really out here, she ain't gonna be able to be a woman,
How? How?
right?
We
You know,
see it. We living in it right now. Like it's
hundred
hard
percent.
for them to be women. They can't be women because they're exposed to too much. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
That's what. And so it's like I'm not saying you shield their eyes, but I mean you there to. I'm there to guide my daughter through these things. Like I can't protect you from seeing the internet, right? But I can remind you every day. Hey, remember this shit is fake. It's fake. This is not
Right.
healthy. This is not good. You know what I mean? Like and because she sees how I am, I'm able to, if she wants to go to Disney World for her birthday, I'm able to take her, right? Like she's bought into me, right? So she will receive my instruction, right? Because I'm able to I show up for her. And
Yes, sir.
so now I'm saying that, but as a man, she'll never know what her job ain't to worry about what I gotta worry about, right? You know what I'm saying? But guess
Mhm.
what? I believe that I know she's gonna appreciate and honor me on my way up out of here.
And you
You
know
know what I'm
that
saying?
that's no doubt. And that's what it boils down to, man. For at least for me, right? And I've always said I want to be the bad guy in my family. What I mean by that is I never
Absolutely. I know
want
exactly what you
my
mean.
my wife to look like the bad person, no matter what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to accept that responsibility, that role, whatever negativity comes with, that's just who I am, right? And I think that's my role. And you said something about the uncomfortable. I remember not too long ago, because he's only been my son-in-law for a short time. 'Cause they got married back in September. I said to him, I said, "Listen, you and I are gonna have some very uncomfortable conversations. I do not want you to think that means I don't like you. I do not want you to think that means I don't love you. That just means you're a man, I'm a man, and we're not gonna always agree. And sometimes those conversations are gonna be difficult and uncomfortable. But I want you to understand that after those conversations, we are still who we are,
Mhm.
right? That's just the reality of it. And he absorbed that, and I saw a little bit of fear and uncomfortableness in him, and that's okay.
Mhm.
But I'm like, listen, I'm not saying this. This is why we're cool and we're happy and we're getting along. I
Mhm.
want to say that before we get to that point, because there's going to be times, right, where we have those uncomfortable conversations. I remember, and unfortunately, my parents passed away when I was young. Before my daughter was born, my son was just a baby. But I remember having uncomfortable conversations with my father-in-law, right? Just general shit where I didn't want to hear. Like, I don't want to hear what the fuck you talking about. You complaining about me, right? But he was here earlier today. I think it was today or yesterday, because they live out of town, but they were in town, expecting my daughter's, birth, whatever. I said to him, I said, we were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about. I said, man, I realized the other day some shit you said to me that drove me crazy, and I'm using the same words, right? I'm like, that uncomfortable conversation you have to have.
Mhm.
It wasn't out of anything but love, right? Because if I don't love you, I don't care how you feel. If you going down the wrong path, all right, so be it, right? But if I love you, I want to guide you down the right path. And
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to redirect people down the right shit. But I don't know, bro. Having being a father of daughters, and being a father is a big fucking deal in general.
Mhm.
But being a father of daughters, I think, is even bigger deal than being a father of sons, because there's so much that can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
If you don't do your part, it's gonna destroy everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the difference is, a huge part of the difference rather is that as boys grow into men and they're able to relate and understand more. So all those things that, may have been seemingly broken throughout the up their upbringing, they're able to come to terms and say, like you said, like, man, I find myself in your position. I get it now, right? So it's
Right,
is naturally and organically repaired, or realize that it was never broken. But
right.
with daughters, you can break them early, and repairing is just very difficult because like I just don't think women are built for it. They're not supposed to be. They're supposed to be protected, like as because it's they're the ones that are going to bear the children, right? So what
Mhm.
they are dealing with, the children are going to deal with emotionally on some level. We are detached from that on purpose, right?
Right, by
Now,
design.
yeah, by design, and that's awesome. Like I'm saying, so that's the reason why we want to create heaven for the women, right? Because they are innately, designed to attach themselves to children in a certain way. We are designed to do it differently. You know what I mean? We have to show, we have to, we are the ones that have to, we are the keepers of accountability. We have to, like you said, be the ones that make shit uncomfortable, to
Yes,
raise
sir.
our voices, to build something. We have to actually perform. You know what I mean? And then it's thankless, right? So that's why, yeah, we are able to accept that. Guess what? Everything that we sacrificed, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't gonna be appreciated till we gone. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, we ain't gonna be, women get to have their heaven on earth. They have to get to
That's what I
be
want for
appreciated
my. That's
every,
exactly what I want
hey,
for my wife and
but
my
guess
kids, bro.
what? That's the crown is heavy. Fuck
Yes,
it.
sir.
It
Yes,
is
sir.
what it is. You know what I'm saying? But because that's why other men have to be there to validate each other.
Yes,
This is
sir.
what it's like. So you don't go searching for validation. You validate. I'm gonna validate you, and you continue to validate
Hey,
yourself through
listen.
your journey. You know what I mean? And
Yes,
that
sir.
way, it's all good.
I reach out to my homies, man, and I did it to you early on. I'm like, bro, the way you think, and I even said it today, bro. That's one of the things I love about you. You give me a different perspective. You are the way you think and the way shit resonates in your mind is amazing to me because it doesn't hit me that way, right? But let me real quick. 'Cause I know we up against time here, and I know we normally quit at 11, but I just want to
Mhm.
say this. I was with one of my homies the other day, right? And we've been cool for years, and we talk about fatherhood. This is the one cat that I can go to and bounce shit off, and we go, we meet with it. He lives a few hours away. I think I hit you up. I was like, man, I ain't gonna be able to make it to the pockets because I gotta meet my guy. We met in the middle,
Yeah,
uh, but he said something to me, because I was sitting down and I think I said the same thing. I was like, man, here, the thing that used to mean the most to me was, I should say mean the most. That's wrong, but don't make me tell your father had carried so much fucking weight from a negative perspective. If I did something wrong, I did not want my dad to find out,
hmm,
right? And a guy was telling me, he's like, man, he was hanging with the wrong crowd when he was younger, and he had found a little baggie, empty plastic baggie, like baggie motherfuckers you put work in back in the day. He put baking soda or some other look-alike type product in it. Took it to school, got in trouble.
hmm.
The school called his mom. She had to come get him. She's like, I'm calling your daddy. He gonna take care of you. Dad, she called dad, and mind you, mom and dad didn't live together at the time for this particular home. He said, man, it was like 3 o'clock when he got home. He waiting all day because dad finna come get him.
Hmm.
Dad showed up at like 11 o'clock. He said, man, my dad yelled at me, but he ain't whip my ass. He said, that day I lost respect for my dad. He said, because I deserved the ass whip. I deserved
Mm,
something to make sure I never did this again. He's like,
that's crazy.
and that day is when I realized I would never respect that man again.
That's
Right.
crazy.
And that one touched me, bro, because I was like,
It's crazy.
I can understand because I was saying not the story because we spoke in confidence. But I was saying to my wife, I'm like, we sometimes do shit where we know it's wrong and we know we deserve the worst form of punishment for it as a child or as a young man. And if we don't get it, we look like the person that didn't give it to us. Like, damn, maybe you don't care, right? Because there's certain shit. Because he was like, man, I had pretended to take drugs to school. That's where you don't let that shit happen, right? So that was
That's
interesting.
what's your take on that?
Bro, that one caught me off guard. But I was like, I'm with you when you're
I
right.
gotta think about that. I gotta think about it. I mean, my first thought is like, damn, that makes sense, right?
It makes sense.
Damn, it's like, yeah, I gotta give that one some thought. You know what I mean? Because it makes
It
it,
it make
it,
too much sense, bro.
yeah. It's like I just have never heard it put like that from a, you know what I'm saying? Like
That one
that's
fucked me up. I
yeah.
was at a loss for words. Right? Like
You
we
know
sitting
what
down, we
likely
having a
happened? What likely happened is he probably didn't whoop his ass because of guilt. He
no
probably,
doubt,
you know what I mean? Like,
no
and that's
doubt.
a tough space to be in. Like, I deal with it in a lot of ways, but I stay on the side of
There's
like,
certain
nah,
shit, and
nah,
this is I think it's different for people of our hue versus others. We don't have the luxury of fucking up like other people do.
right.
So sometimes you have to take that step of doing something to deter us from doing the
Yeah.
same shit again.
Yeah.
My mom used to tell me, you don't have to worry about your dad doing nothing bad to you if I find out you're selling drugs. I'm calling the police on you myself. Right? which meant that I was gonna find out. But she's like, I'd rather visit you in jail than in the cemetery,
Yeah.
right? And that hit me on an emotional level, right?
Yeah.
Because she was not. She was like, I love you so much that I'd rather put you away than allow you to be in a point where I can't see you.
But see, like you said, that goes back to a failure on a man's, because it's like a woman's not even supposed to be in that position.
Hmm.
They're supposed to be the ones that are always trying to protect you, like, you know what I mean. And sometimes you gotta be like, hey, because the only reason why they'll get out the way, because they respect the man that's your father, right? He's
Yep.
there. They have to honor that. So it's hard for them. But they gonna get out the way because they respect his
It's a
guidance.
tough position,
It's
right?
That's a tough position to be in. Like that's yeah, man. Yeah. That's
Hey, listen,
yeah,
I know we against that time, bro. I
yeah.
appreciate it definitely.
Absolutely, 100%.
Let's just we'll just keep doing the lives, bro. So for those that might see this, we'll be back Sunday. I know I have a grandbaby by then, but he should be born on Saturday, so we will still be here Sunday, man. So I definitely appreciate your time, bro. Appreciate you linking up with me.
For
Let's
sure.
keep doing.